Do the survey results surprise you at all? So many of us, most of us, are cutting back these days.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was reading through your survey. By the way, it's not all bad news. As you know, the inflation rates in July were down from June, down to 7.6%. And you basically saw some cuts at the pumps. Obviously, you're seeing the increases in things like bakery goods and food costs. Those have all gone up. And when I was reading the survey, there actually was. I see that basically Canadians are following a lot of the advice that some of your financial planners have been giving on the show, which is basically you're trimming back on discretionary expenses, you're delaying major purchases, and this is what you have to do when things become more expensive.
So, people are also really stressed about money. Um, what do you say to folks right now who are wondering when inflation, and yeah, you're right, things came down a bit in July, but they're wondering when it's going to ease up and they might be able to get a bit more sleep at night?
Yeah, that's a great question. Obviously, the Bank of Canada is doing a lot of things to try and bring inflation down, and they're talking about raising interest rates. But that's a tough one. I mean, obviously, when you're faced with a financial situation where your income is being exceeded by expenses, that's where you really need to take a look at things and just see, what is necessary and what is discretionary. And I think, just like I said, in reading your survey, I know people are stressed out about this, but they're actually doing the right things when they're doing that. When you're looking at your stuff, what you're spending, what's essential, and what can sort of be done away with for right now during this period where things are becoming more expensive.
Do you think this might contribute to a recession? And at the same time, we should remind everybody the Bank of Canada wanted to raise interest rates to cool inflation. There was the hope that people would spend less.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's a tough question. Like the obviously, in your survey, it came out that the group that's being affected the most is sort of the younger generation, the older generation who have already maybe paid down their mortgages or own their houses for a longer time are saying they're not as stressed out as the younger people who have, as you know, bought maybe in urban centers with large mortgages, and now they're facing these increases with respect to their mortgages.
And if people aren't saving, which is also part of this survey,
Yeah.
what do you say to those folks?
Yeah, I mean, you can't put everyone in the same basket, and so there are some Canadians who are able to save, obviously, and there are some who are, as we say, maybe pushed to the edge a little bit more. Those are the folks I think you're talking to, and that's again where you need to say, what is essential. Do I need to buy that coffee at lunch, or basically, can I cut it out and take a hard look and see if I'm able to put a little bit aside? It is tough. I'm not saying it's not. But there are things you do. The other thing, and here's the good news in all of this, we're at full employment. So if someone wants to pick up a secondary gig, there is the opportunity to do so. And because, there's lots of jobs available out there, perhaps take a part-time job. I don't know, but there's always a solution to these things.
John Klotz, thanks so much, John. Good to see you this morning.